everybody, I'm Latrina Patrick. Welcome to day 74 of our 90-day grant writing tutorial. Well, the last couple of weeks I've spoken a lot about foundation grants. The last couple of days I've talked about corporation funding and how to access those. Now I want to talk to you about accessing state and local funds. This is an area that is a lot different than federal, foundation, and corporation grant funding, and quite frankly, it's a lot more difficult. So today I want to talk to you about why it's so difficult and offer you some feedback on how you can work your way through this particular funding stream and have somewhat success with it. There are a couple of reasons why accessing state and local funding is a bit more difficult, and I'll tell you what those are. Number one, they're more likely to be publicized down through a very bureaucratic chain of command. So that can make it very difficult for grassroots nonprofit organization or just a regular, layperson to try to access this information. And then the second thing is that these grant programs are frequently highly political in nature. So finding out about them and their availability really has more to do with who you know and who you've talked to recently. So I want to share some of my experience in that arena so that hopefully I can help you have a little more success with this. One of the best strategies that you can implement when it comes to trying to get state and local funding is really networking. When you're talking about state money, you have to realize that state organizations have a multitude of departments. So you're going to have to do a little research to figure out which department is the best fit for you. So you go to the state website and look at the various departments and the various programs under those departments. So for example, if you work in mental health or substance abuse prevention, then you want to look up that department. Under behavioral health, in some states it's referred to addictive diseases, mental health, whatever term they use to describe that service, that's where you want to start. If you are doing stuff that's like HIV prevention or something around health in that way, then you want to look under public health. If you're working with families and children, then you want to look under the Department of Families and Children. If you're working with the elderly, you want to look at the Department on Aging or Council on Aging. So you got to fine tune and narrow in on your search to help you in that way. The other thing about trying to find the right state department is that in a state like Georgia, it's huge, and we have 159 counties. Well, most state organizations are located in the capital. So if you're in Georgia and you're at the very bottom of the state, down near Florida somewhere, you're not going to access Atlanta very much. So what most state organizations have a tendency to do is to separate or to break down their state into regions and or districts. And what they'll do is they'll have an office located within each of those districts to make it easier for regular people and the residents of the state and organizations all over the state to access those resources and to get their needs met. So when you're on the website under these different departments, one of the things that you want to do is to see where they have other offices and reach out to that office. One thing that in my years of working with the state here in Georgia, we break down the state into regions, and so they will assign people to those regions, and so you want to make sure you identify who it is that's close to you in your particular county and make contact with that individual, because they are typically going to be people who are not just servicing the people that they're already under contract with. So they're located in those areas to take care of their quote-unquote providers or contractors that they already have, but they also are able to be accessed from people who don't have a current contract. So you want to make sure you connect with that person and reach out to them, tell them that who you are, what your organization is about, you're very interested in working with the state, you're very interested in getting funding when opportunities come available, and at a minimum you want them to add you to their email lists, because these are people who are going to host trainings. They're going to pass along information about regional conferences, state conferences around the areas that they serve and the type of work and programs that they have. So at a minimum, you want to be in their line up, you want to be in contact with them so that when stuff comes up, you are getting access to that information. That's a very, very good start. So that's one thing that you can do to network. And when things come up, they will definitely keep you in mind. So that's one thing you could do. Another thing you can do as far as networking with state organizations is to check out the programs of interest to the governor's office. This is going to be a totally different area, and so they will have different priorities. Different governors will have their own priorities. So check into the governor's office to see what their priorities are and what types of programs they support. A lot of times the governor's office will funnel money through a particular department or program to support. I should say they will funnel money through a particular department to support the types of programs that they want to support. So get in touch with the governor's office if necessary to kind of get a look at what it is that they fund and how they go about distributing those funds. Some of that you can find out on their website, but you can definitely call the governor's office and they can connect you with whoever it is that's going to be able to best answer your question. So those are a couple of things that I want to share with you today. We'll pick back up tomorrow with this, and I'll give you a couple of other strategies to help you access state and local funds. If you have any questions or comments about anything I've covered today, please leave those for me here on my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. That way you will get immediate notification whenever I upload a new video. And if you find my tutorials helpful, I hope you'll share this information with your peers and your friends or anyone you think might benefit from my sessions. Now, I also send out weekly email updates to let you know what's coming up that week in tutorials. I send an email out every Monday with that week's agenda. If you want access to that, go over to my website at www.greatervisionconsulting.com and subscribe to my email updates. While you're on the site, check out my bio, my experience, and most of all, check out the services that I offer because I would love the opportunity to work with you and your organization. That's it for today. I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow with another great tutorial. Talk to you soon. Bye.